Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings for Friday, May 18th. We have a full 15-game slate today. Every team is in action, so we've got a lot to talk about, a lot of pitchers to talk about, a lot of hitters to talk about as well, stacks we want to go to. So I do not want to waste any time. Always try and get down to business on these big slates. Just make sure you guys do drop a like on the video. Have not subscribed yet? Be sure you do hit that subscribe button down below, so that way you won't miss out on any of my new uploads. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Looking at pitcher today, we only have 3 options over 10K for a 15-game slate. Only 3 options over 10K. That would be Max Scherzer versus the Dodgers, Charlie Morton versus Cleveland, and Sean Newcomb versus the Marlins. I do like paying up at pitcher on this slate. I do like one of the options up top here. Not going to include them in my 5 plays for today, though. Max Scherzer, you obviously know you can play this guy really no matter who he's going up against. Max Scherzer, arguably been one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the league so far this year. This is a matchup with the Dodgers that I do like. This Dodgers team, they are starting to get healthy. They got Justin Turner back, but this is still a team that does have strikeouts in their lineup, especially when you're facing a pitcher like Max Scherzer. This guy can get strikeouts no matter what, no matter who he's going up against. He did play this Dodgers team on April 20th and had 28 DraftKings points, got 9 strikeouts. I believe he pitched 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, gave up 1 run. 28 DK points at $14,000 obviously is not great value, but if you want a safe, high floor, definitely go to Max Scherzer today. Do have some rain, though. It looks like there's going to be rain in this game, just looking at Fantasy Labs. Obviously, I haven't looked at weather yet. Recording this video the night before on Thursday night. Don't dig too much into weather the night before. Maybe this game has some rain concern and we won't have to consider Scherzer, but I do like him in cash if you want to go there. But man, there is a really cheap option. I got a guy I feel like is way underpriced. You get $5,000 in savings if you go down to Jacob deGrom, who I feel like is just way too cheap today, versus the Diamondbacks in Citi Field. I believe that's the Met Stadium. In Citi Field, good pitcher's park. DeGrom's going to be at home here where he pitches very well. This is a great spot for DeGrom. He's too cheap for the matchup. $9,800, that's just too cheap a price for DeGrom. He's been bad lately, but that one game against the Phillies, he only pitched 1 inning, only threw 45 pitches through 1 inning, then came out. But obviously, they're not going to start DeGrom if he's not healthy, so him starting shows that he's healthy. He should be ready to go for this game. Looks like he was expected to start on Saturday, but since he only threw 45 pitches, he really didn't need the extra day of rest. So DeGrom's ready to go for this game, and I think he pitches really well here versus a Diamondbacks team that has a lot of strikeouts in their lineup. Paul Goldschmidt, probably the only guy that doesn't have a heavy K rate, but he hasn't been the same hitter this year. Jared Dyson, Descalso, Souza, Marte, Avila, these guys just aren't great hitters. They will strike out. The pitcher in the lineup as well adds pretty much an extra K. I think DeGrom's a great option here. I think he's way underpriced. Could possibly outscore Max Scherzer on this slate. And you're getting some significant savings going down to DeGrom. So I really like him as an SP1 today. You honestly can maybe play Scherzer and DeGrom. I don't know if you could do that. Let's see if you plug that in. That'll leave you 32. Yeah, you probably couldn't do that, but DeGrom as an SP1 I feel like makes a lot of sense today. Just $9,800, way too cheap. Charlie Morton I'm not very interested in. I didn't talk about him or Newcomb. Versus Cleveland, won't be going to Morton today, at least not in like an optimal cash game lineup. Same with Sean Newcomb. I just feel like he's overpriced. I really don't want to pay $11,000 plus for Sean Newcomb. I'm not sure if he's really worth that price tag. If I'm definitely paying 10K or above, I'm going to Scherzer, but DeGrom right there, that 10K range just below it, I think is a great option, $9,800. Then SP2, there's another guy I kind of feel like is a little bit underpriced, especially for his talent. Jake Arrieta at $7,700 versus the Cardinals, I think makes a great SP2 option today. I think Arrieta is in a good spot here. This is a Cardinals team that does struggle to righties. They're a righty-heavy lineup. If we look at their projected lineup for tomorrow night, if I can find the Cardinals on here, looks like there's going to be at least 5 righties in their lineup. I believe they only have 3 lefties in there. Dexter Fowler, Carpenter, and Colton Wong will be the only 3 lefties. Arrieta is very good versus righties. He gets strikeouts versus righties. And guys like Pham, Martinez, DeYoung, their K rate is increased versus right-handed pitching. I think this is a great spot for Jake Arrieta. He's getting some good respect from Vegas. The Cardinals only have a 3.9 implied run total here. Good pitcher's park in the Cardinals Stadium and in the National League. Get to face the opposing pitcher. I think Arrieta makes a lot of sense as an SP2 play. If you want to play him and Max, you could do that. If you want to play him and DeGrom and you pay up for some bats, you can go that route as well. You go with DeGrom and Arrieta, that still leaves you over 4K remaining per player, have a ton of salary to work with, and you're getting two really good pitchers that are both very underpriced. So I like DeGrom and Arrieta, two pitchers I'm kind of building around, at least on DraftKings. And then if we want to look at other cheaper SP2s that we could possibly go to, I think Zach Galli in that same game could definitely be a play at 8,100. If you did want to go to him, he's pretty cheap. Another guy I kind of feel like is a little underpriced for his talent level. If we look a little bit cheaper, there isn't a ton I love that's like 6K and below, like any great value I'm seeing. At least looking at this slate the night before, Ivan Nova's facing the Padres at 6,400, but Ivan Nova just isn't a good pitcher, really. He doesn't have a ton of upside, doesn't really get strikeouts. Not sure if we want to go to him. So that's kind of it for SP2. Or SP1, it's definitely Max and Jacob deGrom for me. Those are kind of the two pitchers I like to pay up for. And then cheaper options, I think Jake Arrieta, great play at 7,700. I like Zach Galli in that same game. And that's really it. Those are kind of the pitchers that really just catch my eye on the slate that I'm really kind of building around. So now if we do want to talk about hitters today, there are definitely some bad pitchers on the slate that we're going to want to target against. Homer Bailey is pitching against the Cubs in Great American Ballpark, so I'm going to get a ton of exposure to the Cubs today. Anthony Rizzo, definitely a stud I'm trying to pay up for on this slate at 5K. He's got great BVP versus Homer Bailey. And obviously we're not playing Rizzo here just for the BVP. Homer Bailey's a terrible pitcher. We want as much exposure to this Cubs team as we can. They have a 5.5 implied run total for today. They're in a great spot. We look at Rizzo's BVP, pretty decent sample size. He's 9 for 22 with 2 home runs versus Bailey, a 409 average. Love Rizzo on the slate. Obviously has a ton of power. Great hitters park in Cincinnati, one of the best hitters park. I think Rizzo's in a great spot here. Definitely want to get more exposure to the Cubs. Got some value towards the top of that lineup with Ben Zobrist, who is projected to bat leadoff today. 3,700, great value option at second base, or you can play him in that outfield on DraftKings. Just like I said, just want to get a lot of exposure to this team. Zobrist is dirt cheap, going to be leading off for a team that has one of the highest implied run totals on the slate. A lot of value here with Zobrist, and he will be batting from his left side where he does bat better, where he does have some power from. I love Zobrist on the slate, especially in cash games. If you're looking for a cheap second baseman, I think he's a great play. 3,700. And then in the outfield, going to try and pay up at this position. I think Mookie Betts, another great play today. This is a great spot for the Red Sox versus Alex Cobb. Definitely like Mookie at 5,800, but going to go a little bit cheaper than that. JD Martinez, 5,300, I love here versus Alex Cobb. We've seen Alex Cobb really struggle this year. He got torched by this Red Sox team earlier this year. Gave up a ton of home runs. We obviously know JD Martinez has insane power. Dude's just been crushing the ball versus lefties versus righties. He'll hit home runs from both sides of the plate or from both pitchers. And the Red Sox do have the highest implied run total on this slate right now as I am recording this video. They're implied to score 5.7 runs. This is a team you want to stack up, especially if you go with DeGrom and Arrieta. That does allow you to pay up for some bats. You could definitely play DeGrom and Arrieta and get some of these Red Sox in your lineup. Look to guys like Xander, Benintendi for some value. Bogarts has homered 2 straight nights in a row. He's been hitting the ball really well. He's dirt cheap. At least I feel like he's cheap. 4,300. Mitch Moreland, I think, has good BVP versus Alex Cobb. He's gone 5 for 20 with a home run. You could play Mitch Moreland. He's in the projected lineup. He could be a value option. 4.5 at first base. You got Nunez, 3,400. Just good value in this team. Obviously, Mookie and JD, though, are great stud options if you can fit them in. I think JD's in a great spot here. I've got the salary to pay up for him, so might as well pay up for a guy that has double dunk potential. Mookie Betts, like I said, is a great play as well. If you want to play Mookie over JD, I don't think that's really a problem. I wouldn't mind if you did that at all. Both guys are great options, I feel like. These are my 5 plays for today, guys. 5 guys that I like: Jacob deGrom, Jake Arrieta, Anthony Rizzo, Ben Zobrist, and JD Martinez, Now, if we do want to look at stacks today, my number one stack, it's definitely the Cubs here versus Homer Bailey, especially because some of these guys are cheap. At the top of that lineup, Ben Zobrist, great cash play today, 3,700 projected bat leadoff. Anthony Rizzo, I love. Got Kyle Schwarber at 4,400, who is a good sort of cheaper outfielder you could go to. Even towards the bottom of that lineup, if you want to look to Al Moore or Addison Russell under 4K, just good value from the Cubs. The Red Sox, another team I'm loading up on versus Alex Cobb, a team that you can stack up pretty much top to bottom. If we want to look for value stacks maybe, the Braves have a high run total for today, 5.5 runs versus Dan Straley. But there isn't great value in this team. A lot of these guys are priced up. You're not going to really get value from the Red Sox. You could look to the Rangers for value versus Carson Fulmer. Fulmer has not been good this year, and these guys are cheap from the Rangers. Sin-Soo Choo is $3,600. Profar is $3,300. Gallo's only $4K today. So I would say the Rangers are probably a good value stack if you want to go to them. But if you got the salary, jam in the Red Sox, jam in the Cubs. Definitely two teams I'm kind of loading up on this slate. And then BVP plays for today. Looking at batters that have done well in their matchups, we're going to look for at least about a 15-20 at-bat sample. Since we do have a lot of options here, trying to get the ones with a big sample size. Mentioned Mitch Moreland earlier versus Alex Cobb. He's gone 5 for 20 with a home run. Rizzo's got the BVP versus Homer Bailey, 9 for 22 with 2 home runs. Chris Iannetta done really well against Derek Holland, 10 for 28 with a home run. Then some of the other plays with sort of a smaller sample. Nick Markakis, 5 for 17 with a home run versus Straley. Up towards the top here, Corey Dickerson, 5 for 16 with 2 home runs versus Tyson Ross. And then you can pause the video if you want to look at some of these other BVP plays. Obviously, there's a lot. It's a 15-game slate. Some of these sample sizes, though, aren't very high, so I was just going to try and cover the ones that at least had like a 15-20 at-bat sample. But now if we do want to look at pitchers for today, the pitchers that have done well in their matchups, to no surprise, Max Scherzer has pitched well against the Dodgers in the past. The Dodgers are only hitting Scherzer for a 165 average, 303 at-bats. Jake Arrieta done really well against the Cardinals in the past. The Cardinals are only hitting him for a 210 average through 124 at-bats. And then finally, CC Sabathia has done well against the Royals in the past. The Royals have really struggled to hit Sabathia, only hitting him for a 196 average through 102 at-bats. And the pitchers that have done poorly, really to no surprise, Alex Cobb has struggled against this Red Sox team. The Red Sox have hit Cobb for a 304 average through 161 at-bats. And then Dan Straley has struggled against the Braves. The Braves have hit him for a 282 average through 85 plate appearances. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for BVP and PVB on this slate. And I think that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it did help you. If you did enjoy, just make sure you click that like button down below. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. And if you do have any questions, you can always hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or feel free to leave a comment down below. Always replying to comments, comment anything, guys. Definitely like to look at those. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And good luck tonight on this slate, guys. Peace.